Hi everybody, Jessica Wallace, your Santa Cruz Realtor, here with David Stearns from Allterra Solar. They're a local Santa Cruz solar company, and I wanted to talk to David today about battery storage and solar storage. So last summer and fall, if you lived in California and in Santa Cruz, you may have experienced some blackouts that we had, and some of them lasted for several days, which is very, very inconvenient in this day and age, especially losing internet. And if you're working from home, I had a lot of clients that had issues with that. I imagine you guys got a lot of calls after the blackouts, and you have done how many installations in the 2019?
Well, thank you, first of all, for having me. Interest definitely spiked last summer when the public safety power shutoff started. We've done over 100 so far, what was maybe a 1 in 10, every 10 calls or inquiries we got, maybe 1 or 2 people would inquire about the Powerwall or battery storage generally. Now it's 8 in 10, 9 in 10.
So most people that had solar installed before, let's say 2 years ago, were they ever putting in batteries to store their own power?
I think the first Powerwall or battery storage setup we did was about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, and it was a challenge. I mean, we had the building department was there. We work with Tesla.
Okay, so
Tesla was there. We used the Tesla Powerwall. We should probably put that out there. So Allterra is a partner with Tesla, and we do the Tesla Powerwall. We also do the wall chargers for the cars. So if you get a vehicle, we'll likely be the ones doing it.
So if you already have solar and you want to get a battery to store your own power for during blackouts, about how big is it and where do you put it?
So we were discussing the dimensions, but it's 45 inches high or long, so you can imagine like a flat screen TV. So imagine just a flat screen TV kind of flipped vertically, with about 6 inches deep, and that sort of just sits on your garage wall. Okay. It's heavy.
You can easily put it in your garage then.
Definitely.
You don't need to build another building to store it, and it's not like
it's not
humongous.
a huge fuel cell or something like that. No, it's pretty, I mean, again, it's heavy, but a lot of people are getting 2 just to have that extra battery life. Obviously the beauty of having the battery with solar is that the solar will charge your battery. Yeah. Granted you have enough sun, and it's actually a pretty elegant solution, especially in this day and age where the grid is becoming less reliable and rates seemingly going up.
So if you got your own battery and you have it on your property, you can't disconnect from the grid unless you get a bunch of them, right?
You can, I guess it kind of depends on, natural gas or propane is sort of the big, is the question of getting off the grid entirely. Most people are connected with natural gas. So that, that's
they're still going to need that.
Typically, people, will still like hot water heaters, stove, your stove range, or
but a lot of people here in the Santa Cruz Mountains, they are on propane.
Right. Yeah, and we are getting a lot of calls from the Santa Cruz Mountains and Corralitos where people are on propane, and it's kind of a decision that that they can make. As the price of propane goes up and their appliances age,
they can replace with electric if they have a really good solar system.
They can, and as also the California building code and local building codes are really mandating electrification of everything.
Oh, I know they are. And they want all new homes to be all electric, right?
Right. And California is figuring out what it's doing with its solar mandate for all new home construction. The future definitely is unclear, especially with the fires, the utility bankruptcies, the building code changes. And so I think a lot of people are just taking matters into their own hands and getting battery storage
it feels good to do that.
And solar.
It would feel really good to say no to PG&E at this point. So about how much is it to get a Powerwall and store your own energy if you already have solar?
That's the big question.
It's a big question.
It's a big question. So, the Powerwall, it's really dependent on your electrical situation. We've kind of learned that the hard way. Electrical setups in Santa Cruz and the Central Coast.
We have a lot of older housing with a lot of older electrical systems. So do you need to upgrade your whole electrical panel?
Not your electrical panel. A lot of times you need to do either add a new sub panel or upgrade your existing main panel. But it really comes down to where your loads are, where in your house are you trying to back up your refrigerator, you're trying to back up a few of the lights, the router, So part of why our cost is what it is that our best electricians, because it's actually much more complicated than solar, are going out there and having really in-depth walkthroughs with all the clients that are interested and saying, okay, what do you want to do? Here's what we can actually are capable of doing electrically. And here's what it's going to take to get you set up.
And that could be a big range. I mean, if you have like a little bungalow house versus a 3,000 square foot house with different, it could be a wide range.
And if you want your lights and the TV to work and the refrigerator, or some people, I love doing pottery when the power's out, so I want my lathe to work.
You have not got that call.
Not that one, but I mean, I'm sure, some people, I just want the whole home back. There's
if you're just like fridge and router and my office needs to work.
Right, and it's and the one thing though that is worth noting is that if you have solar, and I definitely recommend getting having solar if you're going to get a battery, because the life of the battery will be extended in perpetuity if you're able to charge.
Okay. So it helps extend the life of your solar system if you have a battery storage on site.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you're eligible for the federal tax credit on the battery if you have solar. But if you do not have solar and you want to get a battery, you are not eligible for the federal tax credit.
Interesting. Yes. So this is better for people who already have solar. I mean, anybody can get it, but it will cost you a little bit less for the battery if you already have a solar system in place.
26% less.
26% less.
So definitely.
This year, right?
This year. So the federal tax credit's at 26% in 2020, and it goes to 22% in 2021, and then goes away entirely.
Okay. And we'll see what happens in 3 years.
Right.
Things can change.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Things can change. Hopefully, we're crossing our fingers. So, yes.
Okay. So thank you so much for talking with me today. I hope you guys learned something. And I know a big question that you probably still have is how much does it cost? It's a $64,000 question, but it doesn't cost $64,000.
Definitely not. Okay. No.
But I think depending on your house, what you really need to have Allterra come out and take a look at it. So give them a call if you're interested in something like this. And even if you don't have a solar system yet, or if you just want to add a battery, give Allterra a call and they can help you out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.